Sure, they can. They blended him in when he arrived, Skip. Remember, they had played 2 years before KD got there. Went 73-9. Steph was a 2-time league MVP, and they blended him in. His first year there, I think they went 68-14, 67-8, something like that. They won like 68 games. They're a little off the 73 win total. So sure, they can. They're different with KD. They're not
extremely
right. They're just not better. I just believe, and Draymond kind of echoed what I've been saying. Yes, they're a great team. Yes, they believe they can win without KD. KD virtually makes them unbeatable because they got a guy when the rubber meets the road, need to meet the road. He can go get you 35 in the ISO situation. Sometimes that works to their disadvantage because even though they got down, Skip, this was, I think, their third straight game, they got down by at least 17. The ball kept moving. The cut step kept happening. And the next thing you know, they find themselves right back into the game. And late in the ball game, their execution is flawless. The other team flounders. They find themselves winning the game and off to the NBA Finals they go. So can they? Yes. But, Skip, I think a part of them deep down, they don't want KD to come back.
I agree.
They want to show that they're much more than a Kevin Durant team. Because they want to, because you see Steph, now Kevin Durant was playing great before he got hurt. I don't know if he's playing any better than what Steph Curry played the last 5.5 games.
Obviously, he's a better player. He's just a bigger man, harder to stop. But I don't know that he's ever played any better than Steph has over this stretch.
No, Skip. 37, a triple-double. Steph Curry had 13 rebounds last night. There's no way. Portland ought to be ashamed of themselves.
It was a tour de force.
It was. I think they want to show. Draymond echoed it. Draymond told the man to his face, we won before you got here.
I told him that.
We'll win after you leave.
December. Yep.
I ain't talking about boss either. So I think a part of them, Skip, they're saying all the right things. They're putting the best foot forward. Yeah, we need KD. We'd love to have KD back. For that matter, we'd love to have Boogie back. But I think a part of them deep down, they really want to do this thing without them.
Yep.
Without KD especially.
Yep.
Because over the last 2 years, if y'all didn't have KD, y'all would have lost. If y'all didn't have KD, this would have happened. They said, okay, we don't have KD now. And we swept to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, first of all, let me address the Steve Kerr situation. He should have absolutely no problem with Steve Kerr.
Zero.
Is prodding, is that another word for coaching?
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, if you can't let a coach prod you, then you just don't want to be coached. I really don't put much stock into this. You know, Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan got into it at times. Phil Jackson, Kobe Bryant. It happens. So I don't put much into that at all. The bigger thing is Steph's team. KD knew it was Steph's team when he went there. But there were two things that he had not experienced that he wanted that overrode his sense that it would be Steph's team. Number one, he really did love the way they played. The selflessness, the ball movement, the player movement. He wanted to be a part of that after all those years with Russ, ISO ball. Secondly, of course, rings.
Yes.
Okay? So even though he knew it's somebody else's team, those two desires overrode it. But now that he's experienced all that, the ball movement, the player movement, the way they play, and then the championships, and by his own admission, he has said, is this it? These championships, it's nice, but it's no big deal.
Is that all there is?
Right. Now there's nothing to override the understanding that this is somebody else's team. And he's, for 3 years, that KD's had to live with this. His own general manager at the parade last year, Bob Myers poking fun at him. Well, Steph's been here since the beginning. KD's not. Clyde Frazier, another top 50 player of all time. Not a role player, an all-time great, saying, there's an asterisk, by him. And then, look, I can name 2 players I've talked to off the top of my head who have told me, look, everybody respects KD's game. You can't help but know this dude is awesome. But they look a little funny at the rings because they feel like a lot of guys could have went there and got those.
Wow.
And so KD understands this, so that is what is eating him up right now. And look, everybody's wondering, let me finish with this point. After all that's gone over the last 3 years, him winning the finals MVPs the last 2 years, the players on his own team, Steph, Clay, saying he's the best player on the team. We need him. Everybody's saying he's probably the best player in the world. You can tell yourself, man, these critics don't know what they're talking about, because they do need me. I've been the finals MVP the last 2 years. Clearly, they need me.
Sure.
But now, with your own eyes, you're watching it. And KD is smart. He's a basketball. IQ is high. He knows how. He's seeing how good Steph is now. How Clay and Steph are demolishing Lillard and CJ. How Draymond is playing awesome basketball. And now he's seeing it within himself. They don't need me. And here's let's get to the crux of the matter. Because everybody's saying, are they better without KD? Can they be better? Here's the issue. They don't have to be better without KD. They just have to be better than everybody else without KD. Yep. If they win this championship without KD, people already belittling the 2 rings.
KD is diminished.
No question.
Fact. I said the very thing that Kevin Durant is upset about Steve Kerr about. And I was ignorant for saying what I said. That was an ignorant statement. I said he would never be loved like Steph Curry in the Bay.
You said that.
I said it. And he said that was
a fact.
That's an ignorant statement. Really? And now the very thing that he called me, said I was ignorant for saying, is what he's upset about. But I tell you what, he better pray he gets back. Because if they win this title without Kevin Durant, nobody will ever look at Kevin Durant the same. Skip, how you the best player in the world, and you missed the last 2 series of a game and a half of the other one, and they win, and they demolish. It wasn't even close. Think about they went 6 games with the Clippers. They demolished Houston without you. They demolished in Portland without you. They'll probably run through Toronto or Milwaukee without you. And you want to walk around and say, I'm the baddest man on the planet. How? I believe Rich Kleiman, Skip, when he says that KD doesn't know where he's going to be playing next year. But I believe KD knows 100% he's not going to be playing in Golden State next year. No matter what KD has done, he's been 2-time Finals MVP. He's been 2 times first-team All-NBA. He hasn't gotten the credit that he thinks he deserves by playing in the Bay. It's about Steph.
Fair.
Some players feel that Kevin Durant is the guy or the person, Skip, you know, you go grocery shopping, and you drive round and round the parking lot to try to find the closest spot so you can get into the store. Kevin Durant rode round and round the NBA till he found the team that could get him to the NBA Finals and win it the quickest. That's how people look at Kevin Durant. KD, I'm sorry. You can get upset with me all you want to, but you were never going to be beloved.
All right, we're going to see who's lying. All right, first of all, with the way KD is on social media, this could be a topic every day. You know, with me on here. Who knows how long this
seems like it is, actually.
Yeah.
Right. But look, he has every right to get on social media, to respond, to clap back, if you will. We talk about him being sensitive, but if this is what he enjoys, he can do it. It's his right. Now, what he doesn't have a right to do is lie. And he didn't directly lie in that he didn't deny the story.
Right.
He didn't deny anything about the story. He just said, I don't have his cell phone number. All right, but the tweet implied that I lied, that I made the whole story up.
Right.
And that's how a lot of people are taking it. So I went on video yesterday with Twitter, tweeted that I'm not going to release the DM. He's hit me, he slid into my DMs, all right? He's hit me on Instagram direct message, Twitter direct message, and that's how we've communicated.
Sure.
I do have a cell number for him that he gave me years ago that I'm sure is old and outdated now, but I do have that.
Good point.
But I have 60 plus direct messages from him in the past year or so, where we talked about the things I mentioned yesterday. So the thing that's more important to me than anything, than my career, than anything, is my integrity.
Yeah.
If I were to sit up here on this show and tell a 4-minute lie with all of that detail, if I were to prostitute my faith, my God, to promote a lie, that would be disrespectful to all you guys, to the audience, and honestly, I think that would be a fireable offense. And I'm saying, if anybody can prove that I was lying yesterday, then fire me. FS1 fire me. Fox Sports Radio, take me off the Odd Couple radio show with Rob Parker and fire me. Don't let me set foot in this building again. Every church that has me scheduled to speak, that's thinking about inviting me to speak, cross me off your list. If somebody can prove I was lying yesterday.
It's on you, KD.
A direct message and a text is the same thing, especially when you hitting me. Everybody's asking that question. Are they better? KD was asking, are they better without him? Honestly, I don't think we'll know. Like, if they sweep the Raptors 4-0, could you say, oh, there it is, they're better without KD? No, they beat Cleveland with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving one year, 8 out of the last 9 games with KD. So even then, I think the only way we could have enough evidence to say, you know what, they're better without Kevin Durant is if they win it this year without him, he leaves, and they have a great regular season, not 73 wins, but 65, and roll through everybody and win the finals again without him. Then I think you could say, okay, you know what, they're better without him. But I just don't. But here's the crux of the matter. If they win the title without him, it's not that they're better. You just don't need him. There's never been a player in the NBA of Kevin Durant's ability. The guys in his ilk, Bird, Magic, Jordan, LeBron, Duncan, Hakeem, whoever, they all were needed by their teams. None of those teams could have won championships for long stretches without those guys. And that's what people are challenging KD to do, is say, look, you're of that ilk. Go somewhere where you're needed and win the championship.
Shannon, what do you think? Is anyone to blame for KD's injury?
Hell yeah. And Bob Myers couldn't even shed real tears. I've heard of dry shampoo, but I've never heard of dry tears. He couldn't even muster a tear because it was reported, Skip, the organization felt that Kevin Durant was not as injured as he said he was, and he wasn't fighting as hard as he needed to get back on the court. It was also reported that some of his teammates felt that Kevin Durant wasn't pushing to get back on the court. Here's Bob Myers saying Kevin Durant loved to play the game of basketball. Now, I want to know who in the organization, Skip. Was it the secretaries? Was it the custodians? Or was it the people that do the meal service? I need to know the people in the organization, because it said people in the organization. It said teammates of his. Question. Really? Hold on, what the hell is this? This is not a DJ Khaled or our album or a collaborative issue. This is why players do not trust team doctors, because at the end of the day, what are they, Skip? They are team employees, and it's big on their resume, because if I'm a team doctor and someone wants to bring their child, a son or daughter, if he's good enough to be the doctor for Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, well, he's damn sure good enough to be a doctor for my son or daughter. Skip, this is bull jive. And you and I, we talked about it from the very first time it happened. I say, Skip, I've never seen anybody put ice on a calf injury that low behind his heel. I say, look, I don't have any inside information, but I've seen enough Achilles tear up close and personal. The first thing the guy does is he looks back. And I remember in practice, a guy tore his Achilles. He asked me, did I kick him? Did I trip him? I'm like, nah, man, I ain't trip you. That's what Kevin Durant did, Skip. He looked back. He didn't grab his calf. He looked back because he thought P.J. Tucker kicked him or P.J. Tucker tripped him. And then for Steve Kerr to say after the game, the doctor said he couldn't hurt it any worse than it already was. Skip, if that's not malpractice, I don't know what is. Because the man had a slight tear in that Achilles. I don't care what they say. Skip, this is wrong. And they put that undue pressure on Kevin Durant to get out there. Because I know, being an ex-professional athlete, Skip, let me tell you, this is how they go about doing it. You okay? How far along are you? Because, man, we could sure use you out there. Just your presence. Man, you know how those guys rally around you, man. Man, you can bring these guys together, man. If KD, boy, if we could just get you out there, we don't need you to be your normal KD self. Just your presence. And watch how the guys pick up. That's how they put that pressure on you. But this is why, again, Kawhi Leonard went outside and got independent doctors to tell him, say, nah, bro, I don't know if Kevin Durant went and got independent evaluation, but he should have. This injury It might have happened, Skip, say 6 months or a year down the road. This injury should have never happened last night. Kevin Durant, I don't care what anybody says, Kevin Durant should not have played last night.
Okay.
KD owes me an apology.
Uh-oh.
KD, you need to at me. Because Skip, remember I said KD is finding out he was never going to be accepted like Steph, Clay, and Draymond.
True.
And he went on Twitter and said that was an ignorant statement. And now the very thing that I said, he's talking about it in an article. So I want my apology, KD.
Yeah, you won't get it.
I will get it. Well, I take a pound of flesh. But anyway, I was just joking. No, Skip, look, I don't know what KD thought. I really don't. I think if KD had left and gone any place else, Skip would have been upset because, I mean, KD, you were there. I mean, big time, great player. I believe he's the greatest player in their history. Now, Russ fans will contest that, but I believe KD is the greatest player in the Seattle OKC history. Skip, he went and joined a team that beat him after he had that team down 3-1. And he joined a team that had just won 73 games with a unanimous MVP.
Yep.
Yeah, people gonna look at you like, what? And he's like, I was never accepted. You were, and KD, Skip, Jenny didn't read this, but he was talking about, although I was never gonna be accepted because Clay and Steph and Draymond were drafted there, Iggy was there for the first title, and everybody else came there to rehabilitate something. What was I gonna rehabilitate? I was scoring titles. I was an MVP. Exactly, KD. That's why everybody got so upset at you. You were a scoring champion 4 times. You was an MVP. And you go join the best team in basketball. Yep. And you don't understand why? Come on, KD. I laid it out very elaborately for him, Skip. I say, Steph, Clay, and Draymond, a new addition. And Johnny Gill joined. Johnny Gill could out-sing them all. Ralph, Bobby Brown, all of them, Jenny. He could out-sing them all.
That is true.
But then he was never going to be accepted because he didn't go up in Boston like they did.
That is also true.
KD, I don't care how many points. You were way better than Steph, Clay, and Draymond. But you didn't get drafted there.
Yep.
You could outplay them. So they were the fans. Yes, we're going to win title, yada, yada, yada. But I'm sorry, they were never going to embrace you like they embraced those guys because that was theirs. Skip, I don't know what he went there seeking validation. He thought, Skip, that if I get a title, yes, I was an MVP before, yes, I won scoring titles, but he never got the validation, the credit that he thought he deserved. Well, if I win a title, what's to argue now? Not only do I have this MVP, I have a Finals MVP, and I have scoring titles, but still. He still couldn't get what he was seeking, and that was ultimate validation as being regarded as the universally best player because that title still went to LeBron, and that irked him. Yep. I'm coming to find out everything irks KD.
Everything.
I mean, so I don't really, Skip, hopefully he's in a place now he can find peace. But the reason why he can't find peace is because KD is not at peace with himself. I don't know what he has going on, but there's no reason for a man to be this unhappy. He's playing a sport that he dreamed of. He's making more money than he ever dreamed he'd make. Yep. He went to Golden State. You made choices. Every choice that's happened, especially when you chose to go to the University of Texas. You didn't have a choice where you got drafted. But you chose to go to Golden State. Now you're choosing to go to Brooklyn. Skip, why is he so unhappy? Everything that he claims to be a problem is the very reason why you're KD. People don't heap praise. 7-foot guys that do not play a professional sport, most of them don't make $75, $80 million a year.
That's true.
KD, look at it as a blessing, bro. Why are you so upset? What is going on in this man's life, Skip, that he can't seem to be at peace or find happiness? But hopefully once he comes off this injury, he comes back to the player that he once was, and he can find that happiness with the game of basketball and, more importantly, with himself. Because there's something going on that's far greater than basketball, and basketball can't solve it.